This is the third video clipping of plant tissue for class 9. Last day I explained to you something about the conducting tissue or the vascular tissue and told you we can divide this tissue into two. One is a xylem, another is phloem. I told you the characters of the xylem as well as function of the xylem and said 4 types of xylems are there. Let me explain about those 4 types. First one is a trachea. So this is the diagram of the trachea. It is made up of elongated dead cells with large cavities without any content. The cells are placed end to end forming a long tube. They are having lignified cell wall, thick lignified cell wall. Next is a xylem vessel. So another name of the xylem vessel is trachea, a long tube-like structure meant for the transportation of water and dissolved minerals from the root to different parts of the plant. They are made up of elongated cells placed end to end. Their cell walls are quite hard, thick and lignified, and transverse walls get dissolved. So suppose this is the one cell, above that another cell is there, below that another cell is there, in between the cell walls are dissolved. That means all the xylem vessels, they are arranged together and form a tube which help to the transport of water and the minerals. Next one is a xylem parenchyma. They are a type of modified parenchyma cell. You have learned just before. They are the living parenchyma cells and associated with the xylem vessels, and they serve for the storage of the food and the glucose whatever produced by the photosynthesis. And last type that this parenchyma I told you before last video that they are the only living type of xylem. Last one is a xylem fiber. They are very hard structure and sometimes they are called wood fiber or the sclerenchyma fiber. And the sclerenchyma, you have learned parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma in the last video. That sclerenchyma is modified to form the xylem fiber. They are fiber like structure and give the support, strength and the rigidity to the xylem. Next type of conducting tissue is a phloem. Now the phloem, except burst fiber or the phloem fiber, all of them are living. What is their main function? They transport the food material, whatever produced by the photosynthesis, they transport the food materials to different parts of the plant. That's why the transportation is multi-directional. Except the phloem fiber, rest of them are living type. The phloem sometimes is called burst because they enter all, it extends all along the length of the plant along with the xylem. It is present in the root, stem and the leaf. So by the side of the xylem fiber or by the side of the xylem throughout their body from the root to the leaf they are extended. Now we can divide the phloem into 4 separate types. One is a sieve tube, next type is a companion cell, third type is a phloem parenchyma and fourth type is a phloem fiber or burst fiber. Let me explain for all 4 different types in a single diagram. Now what is a sieve tube cell? So elongated cells, you can see this one is a sieve tube cell, this is another sieve tube cell. The elongated cells, they arrange in vertical rows joining end to end forming a long tube. In between two cells, the gaps are there, they are called sieve ports, and the sieve ports are well protected by the plate-like structure, they are called sieve plates. Next is a companion cell. So surrounding this tube which transport the food materials, surrounding this tube number of cells, elongated cells, living parenchyma cells are present. They are called companion cell. They are associated with the sieve tube and help to transport the food. Next one is a phloem parenchyma. Surrounding them, another different type of parenchyma elongated cells are present. So they are called associated companion cells or the phloem parenchyma cell. What is their function? They store food, starch or some other organic materials. And only one dead phloem tissue is the phloem fiber or the burst fiber. So they are the sclerenchyma. So you can see the black fiber like structures I have drawn in the diagram. So they are the dead sclerenchyma with lignified cell walls associated with the phloem parenchyma, and they provide mechanical strength and rigidity to the fluid. For your knowledge, uh, uh, the textiles of the jutes and also flex or the different hams, these are the examples of the burst fiber or the phloem fiber. After the completion of the plant tissue, let's start with the animal tissue. The tissues are present within the animal body, they are the animal tissue. We can divide the animal tissues into 4 separate parts. One is epithelial tissue, second one is connective tissue, third one is muscular tissue, and the fourth one is neural tissue. One by one we will learn something about these 4 types of animal tissue. Let's start with the epithelial tissue. So the epithelial tissue, it covers the surface of the body and lines the various body cavities and internal organs, including the blood vessels. So what will be their functions? So their main function is protection, and sometimes they are responsible for the secretion in case of the glands, and sometimes they help in the sensory functions also. So depending on their shape, we can divide this epithelial tissue in 5 separate parts. I am showing to you 4 different parts, and later on I will show you another type. So one is a squamous epithelium. There I have drawn the squamous epithelium. So why it is called squamous epithelium? Because it composed of cells which are thin, flat, with prominent nuclei, closely packed. So they are present. The location here I have written the location, very important for your examination. Locations, all the cases, the locations you have to learn. So they are present within the mouth, within the nasal cavity, within the blood vessels, lining of the alveoli within the lung and the lymph vessels also. Next type is a cuboidal epithelium. So definitely from the name you can understand the cube shaped cells are well arranged over here. So where are they present? They are present in the kidney tubules, the lining of the kidney tubules, and they are present in the pancreatic duct and the salivary duct also. Third type of the epithelial tissue is the columnar. So from the very name you can understand the column shaped or elongated cells are well arranged and form this type of epithelial tissue. Where they are present? They are present in the inner lining of the stomach and the intestine. Another type is a very peculiar type, that is a ciliated, means both columnar and the cuboidal tissue having small hair like structure, they are called the cilia, is called ciliated. So ciliated epithelial tissue may be columnar type, columnar ciliated, may be cuboidal type, means cuboidal ciliated. The cilia or the hair like structure should be there. Where are they present? In the trachea, in the inner lining of the oviduct. Next type of epithelial tissue is the stratified, means number of different shaped cells one after another arrange and form the stratified tissue. So stratified epithelial tissue, they are found in the skin and the cornea. And last type of epithelial tissue is the glandular tissue, means the specific epithelial tissues are modified to form a special glands to secrete something. It may be hormone, it may be some other secretions, it may be tear. So they are called glandular epithelial tissue. Examples means where they are present in the tear gland, sweat glands, liver. There you can see the glandular epithelial tissue. In my next class, I will explain to you different types of connective tissue.